tools and stone tool making seem like this really obscure kind of esoteric thing, but in fact, for the past 2 million years, it's probably been the most common and consistent human technology done by virtually every society around the entire world. The very earliest known stone tools from the Oldowan industry that go back something like 2.6 million years. Simple stone flakes struck from river cobbles. Not much to look at, but in fact they have sharp edges, effective enough to use in butchering an animal like an elephant. Very early stone tools from the Oldowan were replaced by more sophisticated forms, like this hand axe. It was characteristic of a period we call the late Acheulean. And you can already see that there's a much greater degree of design, there's a symmetry, there's an intention you can see.
Around 15,000 years ago, the climate began to change. The glaciers melted, and with water, the world came back to life. One of the best places for humans to live now was an area of the Middle East we call the Fertile Crescent, from Israel to Iraq. It was here that travelling bands found something completely new. They discovered a huge family of plants, the grasses. In the 1920s, the first great woman archaeologist, Dorothy Garrod, carried out excavations around Mount Carmel in Israel. As she kept digging, she found something researchers had never seen before. It was a tool with a bone handle. It was a sickle, a tool designed especially for cutting grass.
This development was perhaps driven by climatic change, which rendered the old ways of agriculture less productive. People clustered into fewer but larger locations, and the plow, potter's wheel, and the introduction of bronze can be seen as the responses to demands of more intensive economic life.
Somewhere around 3000 BC, somebody took two different metals and alloyed them together. Copper, which has a melting point of over 1,000 degrees.
The Chinese Bronze Age is one of the highlights of human history. During that period, Chinese civilization developed to its height.
We know that the most important, the principal weapon of the chariot was the bow and arrow. But there is a document, the Kola Papyrus, which gives a whole list of different weapons that the charioteer is supposed to carry with him. There's a variety of handheld weapons, such as the mace and the axe.
Yeah, what they've done now is to try to maintain the history of the smelter and probably put the stories in.
In Alexandria, there was an immense library and an associated research institute, and in them worked the finest minds in the ancient world.
In ancient China, the army invented several high-tech secret weapons. Along with the crossbow, they developed the world's first metal stirrups. These were cast in China as early as the 4th century BC.
Zhang Heng, born in 78 AD in China. Zhang invented a device that uses a series of 8 bronze balls and a pendulum to indicate the direction of a seismic disturbance. When an earthquake occurred, the ball closest to the earthquake's origin point would drop into the base of a bronze vessel.
Ancient Chinese farmers carried heavy loads with what they call the wooden ox, what we call the wheelbarrow. The first European iron ploughs and seed drills were also largely copied from the Chinese. These inventions led directly to the European Agricultural Revolution. The Agricultural Revolution led to the Industrial Revolution.
everybody loves fireworks. Long before epic fireworks displays, chemists in China invented the key ingredient that propels those bright lights into the sky. That invention was what we now call gunpowder.